Hi there, Graham from Penguin Motors here. Right, welcome to the second of a series of 3 videos where we run some cam and head tests on our Dyno mule. We start out with a baseline run on pretty average 1970s, not particularly good big valve head. We then upgrade the cam. We then try the first cam with better head, in this case a Burton CNC race head, and then finally we try the upgraded cam and the upgraded head. So, you ready boys? Should we make some noise? So here we have our baseline with an old school cam, this Burton BLF 4041, good road rally cam from back in the day. Respectable 159 horsepower and 151 pound-foot of torque. So what we're going to upgrade it with? Well, we're going to upgrade it to what I think is now a slightly modified version of it, but this is a WR40, so an ex-works Burton camshaft. Quite similar to an RL31. In my experience, it makes a little more top end power than the RL31, a little less low down mid range. So, cue another graph. Well, that was a nice difference, wasn't it? We picked up a ton of power at the top of the rev range. We're now bumped up 170 pound-foot torque, but we really rubbished the low speed. So, you know, this is a case of, well, where do you want the power? I think road rallying, you definitely want 40-41 in an instance, and maybe if you're a tarmac rallying, you might want the upper horsepower of the WR40. So what we do now is back to the original 40-41, but this time with the upgraded head. And just for your information, the compression ratio remains the same with the two different heads. They're both 11.3 to 1. Yikes, that made a difference, didn't it? You know, in this instance, upgrading the head, but reverting back to the original 40-41 cam, put a good spread of power everywhere. Real nice. And it's similar power I've seen to other engines running this cam and similar specifications. So it's nothing particularly trick about this setup. It's just that seems to be what that cam does. And yeah, you've got to say that in this instance, sure, upgrade the cam, upgrade the head, it's no brainer. In this instance, unless you take money into account, you upgrade the head. But what would the WR40 have done with the big valve head? Should I say, what would the WR40 done with the big valve CNC head? So, cue our last graph, although this time the graphs are getting a bit messy, so I've turned the torque numbers off, so we're only looking at horsepower, but you can still see the change in torque by what the graph does. Whoa, we've got a dramatic difference here, haven't we? Horsepower's really took off, 184, great, brilliant, but whoa, we lost a chunk low down. And we've seen this before in that the cam upgrade loses torque low down, but sometimes the combination of the cam and the head upgrade can lose even more. Now why is this? Because on the 40-41, the head upgrade lost no low down torque. And I think it's simply a case of that once you get to a certain amount of cam timing, the big head, the airspeed's dropped, you lose low end. So, which is best? Well, it's for you to decide. But really the cut-off point is about 6,300 RPM. If you're above it, you want the WR40 and the CNC head. But if you're going to be mostly below 6,300 RPM, which in the real world most of you are, the 40-41 and the CNC head is the way to go. So we've got a part 3 coming, more of the same.